Hello there and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking the video, and today we have more common word usage errors. This is part 2. Stay tuned. Alright, common word usage errors. This is part 2. If you'd like to check out the first part that I did on common word usage errors, you may click the link that's going to pop up right about now. Okay, so let's get to it. So the first phrase is fast speed or slow speed. I'm sure you've encountered a phrase like this, a construction like this, or maybe you've used it yourself. Okay, so we're talking about speed here. Speed is that's a rate at which something travels, okay, and covering a certain distance. So it can travel at a high speed or it can travel at a low speed, right? So when we say fast, we're referring actually to the object or the vehicle that's traveling. So for example, if it's a car, like the picture that you see there, it's traveling fast. The car is traveling fast, but it is traveling at a high speed. On the other hand, if it's traveling slow, the car is traveling slow, or whatever vehicle for that matter, well, we don't say it's traveling at a slow speed. We say it's traveling at a low speed, right? Because we are talking about numbers here. And if you think about it, numbers can't travel fast or slow, right? So it can either be high or great. Okay, so let's have a couple of sentences here. The road accident yesterday was caused by the cars involved that were traveling at high speeds. Okay, so these are cars and they were traveling fast, but the speeds were not fast, the speeds were high, which of course caused the road accident. Okay, another one, those new satellites can orbit the Earth at great speeds. So the satellites are fast, but they're traveling at great speeds. The speeds are not fast. Okay, the speeds are great, but the satellites are fast. So here's the tip. Moving objects such as vehicles, you can have cars, bicycles, whatever it is, they can travel fast or slow, but speeds are either high or low, or great or low. So remember that. Okay, so what about temperatures? You know, when you say I am wearing a sweater because the temperature is really hot, or I'm freezing now because the temperature is so cold. But again, temperature is we're talking about numbers there. Okay, so if you're measuring temperature in number of degrees, you don't say hot or cold. Just like speed, you also say high or low. So it's either a high temperature, which is hot, or a low temperature, which is cold. But you can say the weather is hot, or the weather is cold, or the climate is either hot or cold, but the temperature themselves are either high or low. Okay, let's have a couple of sentences here. I always wore a sweater when I was in Iceland because of the constant low temperatures there. It means that it was cold, the temperatures were low, the temperatures were not cold, it was the weather that was cold, but the temperatures are low. And another example, the high temperatures recorded recently are a sure sign summer is officially here. So it's hot, the weather is hot, but the temperature is not hot, the temperature is high, and that's why it is hot. Okay, so you're talking about a hot weather but high temperature. So the tip is, if you're talking about weather or climate or places or spaces or objects, they can either be hot or cold, and temperatures can be either high or low, or also medium, right? Or high temperature, medium temperature, or low temperature. Okay, here's a popular one for Filipinos especially, and it's taken care of with a D. That's actually incorrect. Okay, why is it incorrect? Well, the verb is take, that's the base form, right? But the word care is not used there as a verb, it's used as a noun, and therefore you cannot conjugate that or change the form to form the verb tense. There's no tense because it's a noun. It remains care, right? So the past tense of take is took, and the past participle is taken. Okay. So for example, you say, I want to take care of you. She took care of me. She has taken care of him. See, there's no D there, because the verb is take and the noun is care, and therefore the noun doesn't change there. It's the verb that changes. Let's have a couple of sentences here. Her grandmother is being taken care of quite well in the hospital, so there's no D. And then all the necessary documents will be taken care of before we go to court, so there's no D. Again, I believe the error is caused by the the perception that the word care is actually a verb, but it's not a verb. It's actually a noun. The verb is taken. Okay, so let's have a quick review. Again, if it's speeds we're talking about, it's either high or low or great, but the traveling object is either fast or slow. When we're talking about temperatures, temperatures can either be high or low or medium. But we're talking about the weather or the climate or the place or the space or the object. You can say it's hot or cold. And again, it's taken care of without the D. Again, why? Because the verb is take and the word care is just a noun. So you cannot conjugate or change its form to form the appropriate verb tense. Okay, so taken care of without the D. So there you go. That's part 2 of common word usage errors. If you liked it and you found it useful, give it a thumbs up and share. And to help grow the channel, please subscribe. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.